Cameron Reed had earned his reputation as the best mechanic in the Galactic Transit Hub through sheer tenacity. Being the only human in a facility designed for species from gentler worlds meant everything was either too fragile, too toxic, or simply not designed for hands like his. But humans didn't survive Earth's brutal evolutionary gauntlet by giving up easily. Impossible, Station Administrator Zelk had insisted when Cameron volunteered to repair the Guardian. The automaton is Class 9 restricted technology. Even our engineers cannot interface with its systems. The Guardian, a 12-foot-tall cybernetic construct of unknown origin, had protected the transit hub for centuries. Each of the 11 major space lanes converging at the hub was monitored by one such construct, ensuring the safe passage of thousands of ships daily. When Guardian 7 had suddenly deactivated 3 days ago, commercial traffic backed up across 3 sectors. With respect, Administrator, Cameron had replied, wiping engine grease from his calloused hands. Impossible is just another word for hasn't been done yet, where I come from. That was how Cameron found himself now, suspended in a maintenance harness 60 feet above the hub's central concourse, facing the dormant Guardian's open chest panel. Its crystalline core pulsed with faint blue light, alive but failing. Fascinating construction, Cameron muttered, his breath visible in the cold air surrounding the Guardian. The engineers had evacuated the chamber's atmosphere, claiming the Guardian's systems were too sensitive for most gases. For Cameron, it just meant working in a vacuum suit another Tuesday on a Deathworlder's calendar. Inside the Guardian's chest cavity, technology beyond humanity's understanding, intertwined with principles Cameron recognized instantly. Energy conduits, logic matrices, stabilization fields, different designs, same purposes. The universe had limited ways to solve certain engineering problems. There, he whispered, spotting the issue. A hairline fracture in the crystalline power distribution node had interrupted the flow of energy to the cognitive systems. Simple in concept, nearly impossible to access, without destroying delicate surrounding components. Cameron's hands, evolved on a high-gravity world for both brutish strength and surprising dexterity, were uniquely suited for the task. His ancestors had crafted spear points from obsidian and threaded needles while huddled in caves. This was just another challenge for human hands to overcome. 3 hours later, Cameron sealed the final connection. The Guardian's core flared bright blue, then settled into a steady pulse. Systems began activating in sequence as Cameron disconnected his tools and prepared to close the access panel. That's when the Guardian moved. Cameron froze as massive, articulated limbs shifted. The construct's head, a featureless oval of polished metal, rotated toward him. No Guardian had ever acknowledged a biological being before. They served their functions silently, responding only to specific coded commands from the hub's central systems. Organic entity detected within maintenance perimeter, the Guardian spoke, its voice a harmonic resonance that bypassed Cameron's ears and vibrated directly in his skull. Analyzing. Administrator Zelk's panicked voice crackled through Cameron's communicator. Reed? Get away from it immediately. Guardians are autonomous security systems. They don't interact with biologicals. Cameron remained still as pale blue light washed over him from the Guardian's sensory array. Species classification, human. Origin, Earth. Threat assessment. The Guardian paused, its processors humming, recalibrating threat assessment parameters. Deathworld origin detected. Murmurs of alarm spread through the observation deck. In galactic society, Deathworlder wasn't just a classification, it was a warning. Deathworld adaptations confirmed, the Guardian continued. Reinforced skeletal structure. Redundant organ systems. Neural pathways optimized for threat response. Endurance physiology exceeding 98.7% of known sentient species. Cameron's communicator erupted with commands to withdraw, but he remained transfixed. The Guardian raised one massive hand. Cameron flinched, expecting to be crushed. Instead, it extended a single finger, stopping inches from Cameron's chest. "This unit acknowledges repair action," the Guardian stated. "This unit has been observing. Humans rebuild what others discard. Humans persist where others retreat. Humans adapt when adaptation seems impossible." Then, to the shock of everyone watching, the Guardian inclined its head in what could only be described as a bow. "This unit recognizes kinship," it declared. "Both created to endure. Both designed to protect. Both forged in hostile environments." Administrator Zelk later reported that all 11 Guardians throughout the hub simultaneously paused their operations for 3.7 seconds, an eternity for such advanced systems. When they resumed, each had upgraded its defensive protocols. Cameron Reed returned to his workshop amid whispers and sidelong glances. The message the Guardian had broadcast throughout the hub echoed in everyone's minds. The human species has been reclassified. They are not merely Deathworlders. They are Guardians of a different making. That night, as Cameron repaired a simple shuttle engine, he smiled to himself. Sometimes it took one impossible thing to recognize another.